In the year 2020, one of the worst things that ever happened to people happened. This event changed the course of history. How men and women talk to each other for all of time, which meant that dating and marriage were over. All of these things were expected to happen at once. The economy has made it so that millions of Americans have lost all of their money and their hopes and dreams. This was made possible by a large, widespread scam. That was hardest on women, who made up most of the workforce before the pandemic. However, with just the fear of a cough and a 99% chance of getting better, they lost their jobs, trying to figure out how to put their lives together. This caused a big change in society. It moved people further and further away from traditionalism and toward open debauchery like we've never seen before. If you thought hookup culture was the lowest level that Americans could go, you were wrong. To put it mildly, you'd be in for a rude awakening. I woke up to find that money was tight. Women are more desperate than they have ever been. Men went back to selling for themselves for a small fee, which was the oldest job they knew. We saw a rise in the number of Instagram photos of lonely fan cam girls. The focus of today's video is on the rise of spoil me culture, or what I call sugar daddy websites like Seeking Arrangements. This is where rich men, who are called sugar daddies, and women who want to be spoiled or are desperate to be spoiled, who are called sugar babies, meet for a new kind of dating called I know you don't want prostitution. I hate to tell you this, but transactional. For a lot of different reasons, relationships are the way of the future. The main reason is that the economy is tight right now. The fact that women need help to get through each month is and will continue to be a problem. But really, why is that the case? Before, it didn't happen as often. Well, women ended lives and broke up marriages. Relationships, which were good for them in the long run and when times were hard. Now that they don't have men to protect them, and the government won't. It helps a lot to try to figure out what they decided to do. Did they decide to try to get in touch with the men? With money and access to the only thing of value they have is those sweet, sugary walls. The problem is that men don't know how. This is important because men often forget things like this. Men had to marry a woman 90 years ago in order to get a piece of peace leave. To get a picture of a woman to jag, the men had to be high up in trees with binoculars to see a woman who was partly or fully naked. Off to a place where big booties and baristas weren't on display or on a screen. Despite flirting with men every day, there was no hookup culture that was easy for men to get into, and there was no decline like the one we're seeing now. So you have to realize that things have changed a lot to the point where getting some wet vice grip is the easiest it's ever been. In the world today, it's so easy to just get something, like an Amazon package, delivered to your door in any shape, size, and color that you want. Set something up if you want to. You can be as fat and round as a Snicker. If you want it, you can have it. And if you want it to be round or flat, and if you want it to be chocolate, caramel, or vanilla, you can get it, guys, if you press A and give me a handful of $20 bills. Shout. Coach Greg Adams is in charge of our dark side. You don't have to go outside and spend money on new clothes just to take entitled girls on dates. You can get all the wet vice you want without leaving the house. You no longer have to wait 90 days to enjoy some stank with Chad and Tyrone. Roski beat on her sugary walls until she finally decided to let you in. Guys, stop with that nonsense. I get to skip all of that and go straight to the most important thing I want. The only difference is that she gets the money directly instead of you wasting it on dinner dates and when trying to impress her. Guys, especially game artists and broke ninjas, love to act like there's something wrong with paying women to get what they want. What do you want in their eyes if you don't give them what they want for free? You are either not a real psychic or you didn't get her soul. Well, Mr. Broken Ninja, did I say she wanted her soul? Yes, Mr. Game Artist, I did say that. I really wanted to be a man. What do you know? I want her legs on my shoulder while we play coochie games and don't waste any time breaking gallons. That's what I want, and I bet that most men who aren't sure whether or not to do pay for play want the same thing. We are sick of modern women's BS. Some of these men just want to bust A and then go on with their lives in their beds, and I don't either. I see rich men who are having trouble paying. Broke dudes and game artists who sell hopium are always the ones who have trouble with men when they want to get some wet vice grip. Paying for fun in the bedroom because it gets in the way of their work. Even women don't have a hard time selling A. So put things where they belong. I need to get a bigger picture and realize that I can't afford to be moral or hold on to anything. The traditional rules of dating are changing as you watch. We can all agree that women aren't what they used to be, so why would any man still tries to follow the rules and do what has most men failed at in the past? There are a lot of guys out there who aren't getting laid because of the women and the culture of hookups. By choosing only the best men on dating apps, you can start to get peace sleeves. They don't care about morals and have a small amount of money. All that's needed for incels to be virgins is for men to have low self-esteem, broken ninjas, be on their grind, be on her mission, or be free agents who went their own way. And even the person making the game to get some water. The price of the vice grip is between $200 and $500. And you'll be able to get what you want. Let me ask, and I'm telling you this because I know what's right and wrong. The police are very angry. How much cash does it make? To take a woman on a fancy date costs money. Eat steak or anything else that costs a lot. Food just to impress her, but there was no guarantee that it would work. Over the course of 3 dates, she met so many men. You can easily spend up to or more than $600. They haven't even seen or smelled that wet vice grip yet. I tried it, but you told me that helping a young 18-year-old buy her college books is wrong if that's what it comes down to. From your point of view, you should get all the finesse. When you get ran through women who use you as a foodie, I won't feel sorry for you. Call and disappear, you crazy butt. Rich men and men, it would be your fault, sir. I don't have time to run, so I can't gain and talk to women they don't know on the street or in clubs and bars. That would hurt them because most of the men who were wrongly accused were trying to have sex with a Norwegian woman. When you have a good name and can't pay for protection. So leeches would feed on it until it was dead. It makes sense to just walk up to a stranger and spit on them in the hopes of getting something in return. She told her to turn over on her back. Rich men can afford to hire experts or women, selling peace leave on the side, which cut down on the chances of going to court because of a false accusation or a claim of sexual assault. Because it would cost them more money to do so. If they had just paid the money up front, they could have gotten what they wanted and moved on with their lives. This has been the case for a long time. Having said that, I'm not saying that this way of life is risk-free. You'll have to protect this kind of life. Your health, your money, and your life by. There's always a lot going on. When you do business with women, you're not going to get what you want. The ideal situation if you choose to, I know them very well. At the end of the day, all men pay for women. But you can decide how you pay. I chose to pay them up front though. Instead of looking at the back, look at the front. How much money guys who are married have to pay for their divorce and child support? Because they didn't want to pay for paternity leave. Check out how much men have to pay for. Think about how much men have to pay for a wedding and how much they have to suffer. Check out how much money men have. You have to pay to go on dinner dates with women you want to impress, but they don't have to respond. To have sex with them at the end, gents. We all have to pay in some way. Handle women if you're living like monk or if you're not interested in relationships. Maybe you don't pay, but if you do, you are out here paying for women's lonely fans. You pay for a subscription, buy girls' bath water, and your breasts sweat. Full stop, and I don't want to because I can hear the nonsense. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you to do anything. You make the choice, I just tell you about it. The new way of dating is happening right in front of our eyes, with women on the road realizing that they might as well try it. So, start charging guys to see her body and make something from it. Don't do nothing, instead, try to make plans. It is one type of dating app. It makes sugar daddy relationships and other transactional relationships easier. But I think this will be taken care of soon. Soon you'll go crazy, the cats on your wives who make a living by selling sex to older men for money, your future is now out of the bag. I feel bad about the men who are going to marry these women know this. She sold peace leave to make money. Men and women with babies on the way are also there. Looking for with their girlfriends looking for the sake of their sugar daddies. Guys, it's over. So, if you find yourself in this situation, what should you do? If you're interested or just curious about making plans, so, fill out your profile to the fullest. If you're not sure you want to take it, I'd put some work into it. If you mean it, don't buy any memberships because they are pretty expensive. Read that person's biography carefully to find out if she wants an arrangement or a serious relationship. DM the girls you can send it to for free and see what happens. They might send you a message saying, "I'd like to set up a meeting with you." So, you might have to pay for it or you might not. Don't keep your membership to yourself. They had money and didn't like these women. I get what you were trying to say. Yourself into something and just be clear about what it is and how it works. If the conversation goes that far, what you want and how much you are willing to pay for it. Now, you want to do these things to protect yourself because you can't predict when. Don't tell anyone about yourself. The name of the government on these sites, you can add your middle name as your first so they won't know who you are. Don't let the girl go straight to your crib, especially if she's the. Tell her to come meet you the first time you see her. You can drive a short distance to get to a nearby place. Back where you came from. This is to make sure that it doesn't come with thieves. Tell her to leave her purse and phone outside the bedroom when she gets to your house. And check that she turned off her phone. Some women have been known to drug men or set them up to be robbed, which is always the case. Watch out. Give her something to eat and tell her your rules about payment and whether or not you will record the voice record. Or have her sign something like an NDA. I can tell in advance when you should wear a rubber to protect your cheeks. Nobody knows who they are. As a result, you must exercise caution. When you're done with her, pay her on the agreed upon date. Don't smell bad. Don't try to mess the girl up. I don't think you should let this person live. If you want, I can sleep over at your house. Be extra safe. Make sure you carry her back to her house. Or her Uber and make sure she gets there. To make the deal official, get proof that she is home. She liked being in her bedroom, where she felt safe. You can talk via text, and that's it. Use common sense. Be careful because have fun, you guys. If you don't want to look for or pay for play, then it is what it is. Don't whine that these women are done with you and you aren't getting any more. What do you desire? Here's a cold RP for you guys who don't pay the women on sites like you want to find someone who won't cost you anything. Same women, you're in charge of a game, and in the morning, I went to Starbucks. Usually, when you're trying to I got her number, she is giving off sugar. When she draws with daddy's kids, you're spitting game, so keep that image in your head. The next time you ask yourself, why do all women do this? Not enough of them are, and more are who come every day hoping to be spoiled. We live in a cold world, guys. Either change, or you'll fall behind. You can decide.